Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Tonight, we're going on a remarkable journey, not to distant galaxies or ocean depths, but to somewhere just as extraordinary. We're traveling inside your own body to witness one of nature's most elegant performances, the transformation of a simple meal into the energy that powers every heartbeat, every thought, every dream you'll have tonight. This is the story of how your body turns food into life itself. It's a tale of molecular choreography, where tiny dancers perform an ancient routine that's been perfected over billions of years. So settle in, let your mind wander, and prepare to discover the beautiful science happening inside you right now. Our story begins with something wonderfully ordinary. Perhaps a slice of warm bread you had for dinner, or maybe some rice, or a potato. These simple foods carry within them a treasure: starch. Think of starch as nature's way of packaging sunshine. Plants capture sunlight and weave it into these long, intricate chains of sugar molecules, storing summer's energy for months, even years. When you take that first bite, you're not just eating food, you're consuming captured sunlight. Ancient energy waiting to be released. Your teeth break down the bread, but that's just the beginning. Something remarkable is already happening in your mouth. Your saliva contains special helpers called enzymes. Think of them as tiny molecular scissors. These scissors, called amylase, begin snipping away at those long starch chains, starting the process of unlocking the energy within. As you swallow, millions of these molecular scissors continue their work, transforming complex starches into simpler sugars. It's like dismantling a complex Lego structure, brick by brick, preparing the pieces for something entirely new. Your meal now enters your stomach, that remarkable muscular pouch that churns and massages with the rhythm of a slow, powerful heartbeat. Here, something interesting happens with our starch story. The stomach takes a gentle pause from carbohydrate digestion. The acidic environment actually stops the work of salivary amylase, giving your meal time to be properly mixed and prepared. Think of your stomach as a patient staging area. While it's busy breaking down proteins with its powerful acid and enzymes, the partially digested starches wait quietly. Suspended in this warm, churning environment, your stomach is like a thoughtful conductor, orchestrating the digestion of different nutrients at just the right time and place. The real magic for our starches will resume in the next part of the journey, where specialized enzymes are waiting to complete their transformation. Now comes one of the most beautiful parts of our journey. Your partially digested meal enters the small intestine, a remarkable tube about 20 feet long, folded ingeniously within your abdomen. If you could unfold it and lay it flat, it would cover a tennis court. This isn't just a tube, it's a marvel of biological engineering. The walls of your small intestine are lined with millions of tiny finger-like projections called villi, and each villus is covered with even tinier projections called microvilli. Imagine a carpet so plush that each fiber has its own tiny fibers. This creates an enormous surface area, nature's way of maximizing the absorption of nutrients. Here, specialized enzymes complete the breakdown of starches into simple sugars, mainly glucose. Think of glucose as nature's premium fuel, clean-burning, efficient, and perfectly designed to power life. These tiny glucose molecules, once part of that slice of bread, are now ready to enter your bloodstream. The absorption is gentle, almost mystical. Glucose molecules pass through the intestinal wall like guests walking through an open door, entering tiny blood vessels called capillaries. Within moments, they're swept away into your circulation, beginning their journey to every cell in your body. Your bloodstream is like a vast highway system, with glucose molecules as travelers heading to destinations throughout your body. Your heart, beating steadily as you listen to this story, pumps this glucose-rich blood through arteries, then into smaller vessels, finally reaching the tiniest capillaries that snake between your cells. But here's where the story takes an interesting turn. Your cells are like exclusive clubs. They don't just let anyone in. Glucose, despite being the body's preferred fuel, needs a special key to enter most cells. This is where insulin comes in like a master key holder. Your pancreas, sensing the rise in blood glucose, releases insulin into your bloodstream. Think of insulin as gentle, helpful molecules that travel alongside glucose, carrying the keys to cellular doors. When insulin reaches your muscle cells, your fat cells, and many other tissues, it's like a courteous doorman, unlocking the cellular gates and ushering glucose inside. This process is happening right now, as you rest. Your muscles, even in their relaxed state, are welcoming glucose molecules. Your brain, which never truly rests, is continuously drawing upon this glucose supply. Every cell that needs energy is being quietly, efficiently supplied. It's a system of remarkable cooperation. Your digestive system preparing the fuel, your circulatory system delivering it, your pancreas providing the keys, and your cells graciously accepting what they need. Now our journey takes us somewhere truly extraordinary, inside your cells. If cells are like cities, then we're about to witness a beautiful two-stage performance that transforms glucose into energy. First, in the cell's main space, the cytoplasm, that gel-like fluid that fills your cells, glucose begins a process called glycolysis. Picture this as a carefully choreographed dance where glucose, that simple sugar from your evening meal, is gradually broken down in a series of 10 precise steps. Each step is guided by a specific enzyme, like dancers following a choreographer's directions. This cytoplasmic dance produces some energy in the form of ATP. Think of ATP as nature's universal energy currency. But it also creates special molecules called pyruvate, which are like VIP tickets to the next venue. These pyruvate molecules now travel to tiny structures called mitochondria, the cell's power plants. Glycolysis is just the opening act. The real magic happens next, inside these mitochondrial power plants, in a process called the Krebs cycle, named after the scientist who discovered this beautiful biochemical waltz. Deep within your mitochondria, the products of glycolysis enter what might be the most elegant cycle in all of biology. The Krebs cycle, also called the citric acid cycle, is like a molecular merry-go-round where chemical compounds join the ride, get transformed step by step, and eventually complete the circle. This isn't just any cycle. It's a masterpiece of efficiency. As compounds move through this cycle, they're gradually stripped of their electrons, which are captured by special molecules that carry them to the final stage of energy production. It's like passing a torch from runner to runner in a relay race. But notice something beautiful. This process isn't just about energy. As your cells break down glucose, they also produce water and carbon dioxide. The water becomes part of you, contributing to the fluid in your cells, your blood, even the moisture in your breath. The carbon dioxide travels back through your bloodstream to your lungs, where you gently exhale it into the night air. Here's where the story becomes truly poetic. Remember those electrons captured during the Krebs cycle? They now move to the final stage, called the electron transport chain. This is where oxygen, the oxygen you're breathing right now, plays its crucial role. As electrons flow through a series of protein complexes embedded in the mitochondrial membrane, something remarkable happens. These protein complexes act like tiny pumps, using the energy from passing electrons to push protons across the membrane. Think of it like a water wheel. As electrons flow through, they power pumps that move protons to one side of the membrane. This creates a beautiful imbalance. Lots of protons on one side, fewer on the other. Nature abhors such imbalances, so these protons desperately want to flow back. But there's only one way through, a remarkable molecular machine called ATP synthase. As protons rush through this biological turbine, it spins like a water wheel, and this spinning motion literally manufactures ATP. Meanwhile, at the end of the electron chain, oxygen acts like a gentle magnet, attracting the electrons and combining with them and hydrogen to form water. This means that every breath you take, every molecule of oxygen entering your lungs, will eventually become part of the water in your body. The oxygen you breathe becomes the water of life. Now, what happens to all this ATP we've been creating? Think of ATP as nature's perfect energy currency. Small, portable, and immediately spendable. Every single thing your body does requires this molecular money. When you walk today, ATP powered the contraction of your muscle fibers. When your heart beats right now, it's spending ATP with each rhythmic squeeze. Your brain, as it processes these words, is constantly using ATP to send electrical signals between neurons. Even involuntary actions you never think about, the pumping of ions across cell membranes, the synthesis of proteins, the repair of DNA, all require ATP. It's like having the perfect universal currency that works everywhere in your body. Your cells spend ATP, then immediately begin making more through the beautiful process we've just explored. This cycle never stops. Making ATP, spending ATP, making more, as long as you live. So that slice of bread you ate, it didn't just become energy in some abstract sense. It became the specific molecular currency that powers every heartbeat happening right now, every breath you're taking, every gentle movement of your eyes as they grow heavy with sleep. This entire process, from that bite of bread to the production of ATP, water and carbon dioxide, is happening continuously, quietly, perfectly. Right now, as you listen to these words, millions of glucose molecules are being processed in your cells. Your mitochondria are humming with activity, producing the energy that powers your heartbeat, your thoughts, your dreams. The carbon dioxide produced in this process travels through your bloodstream, back to your lungs. With each gentle exhale, you're releasing the byproducts of energy production into the world. In a way, you're participating in the same cycle that plants use. You breathe out carbon dioxide, which plants will use tomorrow to capture sunlight and create more starch, continuing this ancient cycle of energy transformation. As you prepare for sleep tonight, remember this incredible story happening within you. Your body is a master of energy transformation, taking simple molecules and orchestrating them into the complex symphony of life. Every cell is a tiny universe of chemical reactions, all working in harmony to keep you alive. Thinking, dreaming, the energy that powered your day. Every step you took, every word you spoke, every thought you had, came from this beautiful process. And tomorrow, it will begin again, quietly and efficiently, as your body continues this ancient dance of transformation. But now, let's take a moment to connect consciously with this process. Let's use the very oxygen that plays such a crucial role in your cellular energy production to guide you into peaceful sleep.